I like to do this. Les Paul. Let's just try something really generic like Les Paul broken or Les Paul like repair. Because there's this theory out there of can you do this and can it be more affordable and can it be better? Is that even a possibility? And as you look right off the bat, there's all these like missing necks, bolt-on necks, like really low quality. Well, here's a Bernie right here. Bernie Les Paul right here. So here's, well, I guess it's a snap-on kind of body style. But here's the real question. If you were to actually do this, could you possibly get one of these, repair it for dirt cheap? And maybe the repair's not that bad. Like here's a good one right here. Look at this sucker. Nice little Epiphone inspired by Gibson Les Paul Custom. It's got a snapped head on it. Got that really nice open book headstock. But here's the question about this. Here's where I get a little bit, I don't know. I get these crazy ideas. I don't know if you can see over here, but it's going right now for like 210 bucks. So this thing, when it was done full retail, is retailing for about $1,200 right now, I think. When they first came out, they were like $1,500. But if you could pick this up for $200 instead of $1,500, now keep in mind, obviously, when you look inside here, there's no pickups that are in there, so it's going to need some pickups, right? It needs all the hardware, so you'd have to figure how much do you really want to spend on hardware. But here's the real kicker. For that price though, can you really go wrong for 250 bucks for potentially a custom? I mean, that's a smoking deal if you ask me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy one of these. I'm going to take my shot at doing a neck repair. We'll do it proper. But I'm no luthier. Let's be just clear on that. So we'll start there and we'll see if we can't take a guitar or Les Paul that's normally $1,500, and let's say that we can do a decent repair, get it in really good shape, and spend a little bit on some high quality switchcraft and some good pickups, and let's see if we can't get a $1,500 guitar that's amazing for $500-600 bucks. Because if you could, there's your answer right there. There's your answer right there. Because I get that all the time. So the real question is if you can do that. And I guess the biggest thing with Les Pauls that everybody's figuring out is like, I really want to get one. I want a nice one. I want a decent one. It comes down to money, right? Every single time that I got a Les Paul that I was not happy with was because I didn't want to spend the money. And so I got a cheap one. And then when I got the cheap one, I wasn't happy about it. And so then I have one, but then I end up trying to find another one and end up with 3 mediocre ones. That's probably how I started off all Les Pauls, is I really wanted one. I got a great one, which I'm going to do a whole video about that, where I talk about the difference between, you know, where I started with a Korean made versus a China made versus a made in Japan, which is really the 3 that I have experience with. And then of course real Gibsons, which I've had a lot of actual Gibsons, from studio deluxes to a lot of standards, to some really, really nice ones, which I'll do reviews on all of those so you can see kind of what I like and why I don't like them. But the whole problem with the Les Paul, they're amazing and arguably some of the best. I don't know, that's subjective, right? I love them. They fit my style of play. I love what they represent, and the music that I love usually, you know, it was inspired by Les Pauls and goes back to the 60s and 70s and stuff that I love. So I've got kind of a crazy history and passion for that specifically. So if you're looking for that and you really want a Les Paul, awesome. But it always comes down to money. When I first started getting into Les Pauls, I'll do a whole video on that one, but I almost spent back then about $700 in a off-the-shelf Honeyburst China-made Les Paul to upgrade switchcraft with everything inside of it, pots, pickups to some Gibson 57 classics. I was going to do all of that. So the question is could you go this route Is it cheaper? And how hard is it really? I'm gonna do it for you guys. I'll be the dummy. I'll try it out, and if it's horrible, it's on me. But if we figure this out and we get this right, we might be onto something. We might find an affordable way to get some Les Pauls, people. Let's go. Anyway, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna buy these. I'm gonna do an unboxing, and we'll go start to finish on this. Let's see. Let's just do some experiments here and see what happens.